What's been going on here is an incredible cover story.
Councilmember Burke.
You've been had. I'm speaking on behalf of the taxpayers of District 1. You went for a ride. You got taken. I have a resolution 11-248 to provide remedy for this council of integrity. If this council wants to act with integrity, you have a resolution before you that says start the process over. You said you won't add a penny more to your proposal. $234 million is pretty important to my district. Very important. We got flooding issues, we got sewer rates going up, and I think that going to battle for $234 million is worth a resolution to pass to make a statement.
I believe mistakes were made in this procurement process. That happens, but then it's very hard to admit that mistakes were made.
So
I think that's the thrust of what's going on.
You didn't get a 48-hour chance, did you?
No.
So when you brought up Phoenix, you were given an opportunity, and you wound up winning the award, and Phoenix, the taxpayer, saved money.
Yes.
In this instance of what did not go before DCCA is that you wanted to tell DCCA, and then the appeal on the DCCA, you wanted to say, look, I wasn't given a 48-hour opportunity to the HRS that you showed, but you couldn't argue that point. Is that correct?
There was a ruling for summary motion. The city won that, and I wasn't able to say anything.
To use a football analogy, Councilman Tom Berg wants a replay on rail.
If the referee made a bad call on the field, it's our job to review this. It's our job to oversee that maybe they got the call wrong.
He says Bombardier Transportation got robbed. Their bid is $234 million less, and they would have built the rail cars in Hawaii and created 150 local jobs. But they were disqualified, and when asked why, the city's attorney said they can't talk about it, even though it's all part of the public process. It was the city's attorneys versus Bombardier, with both testifying the other is wrong. Bombardier says its bid was the lowest by $234 million, but their offer was disqualified because they wanted a cap on liability. Bombardier says the contract language is flawed and the city does not understand the liability law.
The city basically asked for a contract for apples and Bombardier proposed oranges.
This whole issue of liability is totally misunderstood by the city. Really, what's been going on here is an incredible cover story.
Bombardier's proposal had proposed a different cap on liability.
They never did that. They played gotcha, we gotcha, you're out. It's wrong.
Essentially, the city contract that was offered in the RFP provided that there would be a limit on liability, direct liability to the city, but that the liability for indemnification, so for third-party claims that may be brought against the city, would not be subject to that limitation.
You know, we've always felt that the city representatives, their attorneys, never really understood the liability issue. That's been confirmed for me today. Beyond doubt, they don't understand it.
And the language that Bombardier proposed would deleted that exclusion and thus would have applied that overall liability cap.
So that is totally false what you heard today. We never requested a cap on third-party claims. It's outrageous that the city would even think that that's part of this proposal. It does not include any claims on third party. That's outside the cap. Error or ambiguity is identified by the priority listed offerer at any time during the process. In any of the documents supplied by the city, we have a duty to notify the city of the needed correction. It's an obligation that a contractor point out faulty language, something wrong. And that's what we were trying to do over and over. So basically, the way that the language read is we're giving you this cap on liability at 100% of contract value. But then in the next paragraph, oh, by the way, everything is excluded from the cap. That's faulty language. It's drafting language. It's a mistake. What we find now is, now that this has become an issue after the fact and we were improperly disqualified on this point, now there's a cover story to say we meant to exclude everything from the cap. We gave you the cap, yes, but we also meant to exclude everything from the cap. That is ridiculous.
As I said, you can't compare an apples proposal to an oranges proposal. Everybody has to be on the same terms and conditions.
Look at B. The proposal, after any opportunity has passed for modification or clarification, fails to meet the announced requirements of the agency. What is this saying? It's saying that if there's some sentence in this 14-volume proposal, tens of thousands of sentences that we wrote, If there's some sentence that the city finds objectionable or thinks is an exception or something wrong, they are given the opportunity by the HARS to come back to us and say, you know, we don't like this sentence. You have 48 hours to remove it. This is very normal, and it's right in the code. They never did that. They played gotcha, we gotcha, you're out. It's wrong.
If you were indeed to fill out the form of condition and made it applicable like the others, your price would then go up. You've just refuted that today, that if you said, if I'm treated the same as everyone else here, I'm not adding a penny to this proposal.
And I'm telling you now, we would not increase the price at all for this issue. You know, we didn't want to go and make this into a claim. It turns out that Sumitomo dropped this issue, okay, in the final BAFO, and we asked ourselves why. They actually had it as a clarification, just like we did in the initial proposal. They dropped it in the final proposal, and we asked ourselves, why did they do that? The only thing we could think of is they figured, well, it's faulty language, it's unenforceable, and down the line, if this issue ever comes up, we'll fight it, we'll make a claim out of it. Bombardier does not operate like that. We did not want to do that. We didn't want to make these anti-rail critics right, that you're going to get all these claims on this project and the costs are going to escalate. We wanted clarity now. Here's the first sign of trouble. March 21st, when the award was made to Ansaldo, the mayor's office put out a press release. Ansaldo was selected as the winning bidder for the $574 million Core Systems contract. False. It's not $574 million. This deception started right there, and I'll explain to you why. Because it completely ignored the operations and maintenance scope. Okay, it's a misrepresentation of what this whole contract was about. They were boasting about a 27% reduction under their estimate, and maybe that's why they only revealed the design build part and left out the O&M part. I don't know. As a matter of fact, our representatives were in the room that day and heard city representatives say that the O&M would be negotiated later. You can't do that under a single DBOM contract. O&M is a fixed price part of the proposal. It's all together. There's no negotiation later to kind of separate that. See, the press release, when it talked about $574 million, made it seem that Bombardier was the high bidder in the information that was released to the press, because that was just the first part of the contract. When you add in all of the O&M components, all of a sudden the picture changes. And in fact, Bombardier had the lowest total price of all three bidders. The example from the Sumitomo price form for O&M, you can see the prices for each year of operation as well as the total. Someone redacted the Ansaldo form, even taking out the heading, so you really couldn't figure out, you know, what period of time, what part of the contract is that $339 million for. It was covered up. So we had to go and file government request for government records, and that's when we finally got the numbers. And I'll give you an example of that. We've actually confronted this issue once before. We did a proposal for the city of Phoenix, and by the way, Hawaii procurement law is modeled after Arizona procurement law. Okay, so this is relevant. In 2009, we did a proposal for the city of Phoenix. They liked our proposal, but they had a problem with something we wrote in the proposal, and you can read in this letter. The city of Phoenix has received Bombardier's final proposal. The proposal includes conditions that Phoenix previously rejected. Now, we dispute that we had a condition, but they felt like we had a condition. So what did Phoenix do? You have until 5 p.m. on Wednesday, February 11th, to remedy this, to withdraw that condition. This is the way the process is supposed to work. We did that. We're building the project right now. The city got the best deal. That's the way the procurement code was meant to be and used. The city did not do that here.